Hello, my dear children. I hope you all are doing good. So, today in this video, we'll be looking into a poem, The Elephant and the Tragopan, written by Vikram Seth. So, before understanding the poem, let's know about the poet Vikram Seth. Vikram Seth is an Indian poet, novelist, travel writer, children's writer, and biographer who was born in Calcutta on June 20, 1952. He has written several novels and poetry books. He has received several awards such as Padma Shri, Sahitya Academy Award, Pravasi Bharatiya Samman, W.H. Smith Literary Award, and Crossword Book Award. He is known for his novels like A Suitable Boy, The Golden Gate, and An Equal Music. His mapping and beastly tales are notable contributions to poetry in English in India. Now, before coming to the recitation and explanation of the poem, let's know this poem in a nutshell. So, this poem is about animals discussing over the vows and tribulation on animals by humans. The discussion is about the human venture to convert the animals' home in the woodlands into a reservoir for the benefit of the nearby city. The elephant says that human beings kill animals for various reasons and hardly show gratitude towards animals. Again, it adds, man is a bewildering blend of opposites, gentle and dangerous, sensible and unpredictable, caring and cruel, level headed and crazy. At the core of man's destruction of the environment is his basic selfishness. He thinks he is entitled to their service to satisfy him and to stimulate his appetite to exploit them further. He is not kind to them, nor does he allow them to feel secure anywhere. The irony is that man worships animals as gods and holds festivals in their honor. He even writes moral stories about their goodness and greatness, yet does not care for them. The elephant says that the only way to protect themselves from imminent danger would be to unite in their fight against man, vowing to live or die together.
So now let's look into the recitation of the poem The Elephant and the Tragopan by Vikram Seth.
They talked for hours, and at the close, at last the elephant arose, and with a modest trumpet call, drew the attention of them all. O beasts of Bengal gathered around, though in our search for common ground, I would not dream of unanimity. I hope our views may reach proximity. I speak to you as one whose clan has served and therefore studied man. He is a creature mild and vicious, practical minded and capricious, loving and brutal, sane and mad, the good as puzzling as the bad. The sticky center of this mess is an uneasy selfishness. He rips our flesh and tears our skin, for cloth without, for food within. The leopard's spots are his to wear, our ivory unknots his hair. The trun falls to his gun, he shoots the flying fox for fun. The blackbeard dances to his whim, my own tame cousins slave for him. Yet we who give him work and food have never earned his gratitude. He grasps our substance as of right to quench and spur his appetite, nor will he grant us truce and grace to rest secure in any place. Sometimes he worships us as gods or sings of us at high-state forts. Our fashions, fables, myths, and stories to celebrate our deeds and glories. And yet, despite this fertile fuss, when has he truly cared for us? He sees the planet as his fief, where every hair or drop or leaf, or seed or blade, or grain of sand is destined for his mouth or hand. If he's thirsty, we must thirst, for of all creatures, man comes first. If he needs room, then we must fly, and if he hungers, we must die. Think what will happen when his scheme to tame our valley and our stream
begins to thirst its way across these gentle slopes of fern and moss. With axe, explosives, and machine, since rhododendron logs burn green, they'll all be chopped for firewood or logged and smuggled out for good. As every bird and mammal knows, when the road comes, the forest goes. And let me say this to the trout: the bamboo will be slashed, no doubt. And what the Tragopan and I delight to eat will burn and die. But what will happen to your stream before the reservoir, your dream of endless space can come about? The soot and filth will snuff you out. What tolls for us is your own bell. And similarly, let me tell the leopards who may fancy here a forest full of fleeing deer. After your happy passing slaughter, you too will have to flee from water. You will all be homeless like us all. It is this fate we must forestall. So let me say to every single endangered denizen of Bengal, we must unite in fur and feather, for we will live or die together. So this is just an extract from the very long poem, The Elephant and the Tragopan. So now let's understand the lines of the poem. They talked for hours, and at the close, at last the elephant arose, and with a modest trumpet call, drew the attention of them all. So, according to a poet, there is an imaginary place named Bengal where the animals and birds are at a general body meeting discussing the effect of the terrible news that man is planning to build a dam and a reservoir to save water for humankind. And at the end of the speech, the elephant arose. That means the elephant comes in front and very humbly draws the attention of all the animals and starts his closing speech. O beasts of Bengal gathered round, though in our search for common ground, I would not dream of unanimity. I hope our views may reach proximity. I speak to you as one whose clan has served and therefore studied man. Now, in this stanza, the elephant starts its closing speech by addressing all the animals of the imaginary Bengal forest gathered there for the meeting, for the discussion, and says that though we all are gathered here in search of commonality, mutuality, and understanding on various problems regarding the threat posed to us by humans for their development, I would not hope, I would not dream of acceptance on everything discussed here by all. But I hope that our view, our thinking, our goal to stop humans from exploiting us is the same. I am speaking in front of you because my clan, because my group has served humans, have worked for humans for since long, and therefore it knows the nature, the behavior of the humans very nicely because they have studied humans. They worked for them for so long that they studied humans, and they now know what is the nature, what is the behavior of the man. He is a creature mild and vicious, practical minded and capricious, loving and brutal, sane and mad, the good as puzzling as the bad. The sticky center of this mess is an uneasy selfishness.
So, in this stanza, Elephant gives the brief description of human being. It says that man is creature behavior. It lists the contradictory character of man that makes his behavior unpredictable because he has both good and bad qualities. He can be mild. Mild here means he can be lenient, gentle, tender hearted, or warm. So he can be mild, yet he can be cruel, hurtful, or violent. He can be practical minded or sensible, yet impulsive or unpredictable. He can be caring, yet cruel. He can be sane yet crazy. And then the elephant concludes its a description about man by saying that the good behavior, the good nature of man is as puzzling as the bad ones. Both good behavior and the bad behavior is equally puzzling that makes him unpredictable. Then it says all the mess created by the human being. Mess here means the imbalance created in the ecosystem, endangering flora and fauna, etc., for their own benefits. So it says that the center of this mess created by humans, the cause of this mess, is the selfishness of humans, the needs and benefits of human. Now let's look into the next stanza. He rips our flesh and tears our skin, for clothes without, for food within. The leopard's spots are his to wear, our ivory unknots his hair. Elephant again says that man, out of his needs and requirements, out of his selfishness for to satisfy his hunger, he cuts animals' flesh, and to cover his body, he tears our skin, as if the leopard's skin is made for him to wear. And it also says that he even uses our tusks, our ivory, to make combs which unknots his hair. So it tries to say that man uses us in every possible way. The Tragopan falls to his gun. He shoots the flying fox for fun. The black bear dances to his whim. My own tame cousin's slave for him. So Tragopan is a very beautiful bird which gets shot by man just for fun. Elephant says that man, just for the sake of fun, hunts or shoots birds like flying fox, that is bats, and Tragopan. They make the black bear to dance out of his desire, his wish. You must be knowing that bears are made to dance in circus. And then it says, my own cousins who are tamed, who are domesticated by human, they work like slaves for him. Yet we who give him work and food have never earned his gratitude. He grasps our substance as of right to quench and spur his appetite, nor will he grant us truce or grace to rest secure in any place. So, in this stanza, the elephant shows disappointment by saying, although we have served so much, we have done so much for man, we have given him work and provided him food, but we have never received his thankfulness. We have never received his gratitude for all we give to him. Therefore, doing things and sacrificing our lives, sacrificing our strength for him is worthless, as we never receive anything good from him. He grasps, he uses our whole existence. He uses every part of us. He holds on to us as if he has right to exploit us, to use us. It adds that man will never grant us any peace or kindness. He will never be kind to us. That we can find a safe place to live. That is, we will never find any safe place to live, as man will never grant us that peace and will never be kind to us, for he has to satisfy his cravings and motivate his hunger. Now look into the next stanza. Sometimes he worships us as God, or sings of us at Easted forts, or fashions fables, myths, and stories to celebrate our deeds and glories. And yet, despite this fertile fuss, when has he truly cared for us? So, Eisteddfod is a music and poetry festival that is celebrated in Wales. In fashion, fables means to tell short story or a tale. So, in the stanza, Elephant says that there are times when man worships us as God and sing and pray of us at festivals. We have also seen in our country's children many animals are considered or somehow related to God and also are prayed. So, yes, it says that we humans pray of them sometimes. We make some tales or stories and myths to celebrate, to appreciate their deeds and glories. And except for creating this unnecessary and worthless worships, he has never truly cared for us by heart. So, next stanza is he sees the planet as his weave, where every hair or drop or leaf, or seed or blade or grain of sand is destined for his mouth or hand. So, in this stanza, the elephant provides a frank description of man by saying that in selfishness, man thinks that he is the master of this planet. He thinks that he is the owner. He lawfully owns the planet where each and everything belongs to him, whether it is hair or leaf or seed or blade or even a small particle of sand is created to serve him, either for his mouth to satisfy his hunger or hands to use it in several ways. Now look at the next stanza. If he is thirsty, we must thirst, for of all creatures man comes first. If he needs room, then we must fly, and if he hungers, we must die. Think what will happen when his scheme to tame our valley and our stream. So in the stanza, the elephant expresses his anger towards the exploitation imposed on them by man. It says, if man is thirsty, then we must give up our water to him, and we must stay thirsty in order to satisfy his thirst. As man is considered as most important creature on the earth, above all the creatures, man is considered most important by us only. It then continues and say, if man if man needs place to live, we should leave our place for him and move from there. And if he is hungry, we should sacrifice our lives for him, as we are the one who put human above all the creatures. Now, it asks all the animals, it says, now think what will happen if the man's plan to capture our valley and stream and tame it, that means use it according to his needs, becomes successful, then what will happen to us? Obviously, there will be no place for us to live. Now, look at the next stanza. Begins to thirst its way across these gentle slopes of fern and moss, with axe, explosive, and machine, since rhododendron logs burn green. They'll all be chopped for firewood or logged and smuggled out for good. As every bird and mammal knows, when the road comes, the forest goes. And let me say this to the trout, the bamboo will be slashed, no doubt. And what the Tragopan and I delight to eat will burn and die. But what will happen to your stream? Before the reservoir, your dream of endless space can come about. The soot and filth will snuff you out. What tolls for us is your own bell. So, in this stanza, it tells all the animals the consequences of if man tames the valleys, forests, and rivers. It says that if man moves towards the forest across the delicate pitch of plants with axe, explosives, and machine to destroy the forest, since the logs of rhododendron are burnt in firewood, they will cut it and export it for their benefit. And as every bird and animal know that when human makes road, they destroy the forest. When roads come into existence, forests are destroyed. The elephant asked the trouts that it knows that they will cut all the bamboos which the elephant and the tragopan used to eat very delightfully, which is their favorite food to eat. Humans will tear it apart. But what will happen to their stream, to their rivers, ponds, or lakes? The elephant says this because he thinks that the trouts would be happy dreaming of bigger space and also good source of water after the reservoirs are built. But elephant tries to warn it by saying that don't be so happy as you don't know the ultimate goal of man. While creating the reservoirs, man will never consider you and will produce so much of smoke and dirt and water that it will kill you off. So don't be happy thinking that man will leave you. You will be also dead just like us. Whatever happens to us will be the same for you as well. Now look into the last stanza. And similarly, let me tell the leopards who may fancy here. Fancy means to imagine a forest full of fleeing deer. After your happy passing slaughter, you too will have to flee from water. You will all be homeless like us all. It is this fate we must forestall. So let me say to every single endangered denizen of Bengal, we must unite in fur and feather, for we will live or die together. Now, elephant again continues to speak and warns leopards who may imagine, who may visualize the forest full of escaping and running deers from man, and they would get chance to hunt and eat them. Elephants says, remember, after you kill and eat all those deers, after your happy time of eating deer, you will also have to escape, you will also have to run away from the forest, and you will also be as homeless as us. It then motivates all the animals and says we should all come together and prevent this fate, try to stop man from exploiting us. And then again it addresses all the animals of the imaginary Bengal forest by saying, let me say this to every single endangered animal of Bengal, that we must come together, we must unite together, all of us, whether it is land animal with fur or the birds with feathers. Let's all come together to fight against humans' scheme of destroying us. Because if we fight for our survival, we all will live together, and if we don't, everyone will die together. So let's just try to stop humans. So, children, you can see how man has been reckless in the name of so called progress, exploiting the environment for his benefit. He does not realize that interdependency is at the core of harmonious living. He is like the trout and the leopard, dreaming of benefits that he will not be able to enjoy, for his attempts at progress are suicidal. So I hope you are clear with this poem. If you have any doubt, let me know. Thank you.